Today, I'm reaching out to speak with members of the community who either live or work within one of the many neighborhoods here in California State Senate District 30, which is in the Los Angeles area. I want to get their thoughts and concerns about the most serious issues that impact them, the things that they feel need immediate attention. Like many of us, Arlene lives and works in the district, and up until the shutdown, she worked in the health and fitness industry. And I thank her for being here to talk with us today. And for being here today. I have a few questions, and I would really love your point of view on so many things that are impacting our area. First question is this. Please tell us your greatest concerns regarding the overall business conditions in your area of our District 30.
Well, as we all know, shutdowns have come back. We were open for at least outside dining, outside fitness. We could take spin bikes outside in parking lots. We were doing yoga on the rooftop, and basically all of that has stopped. There's no more even outside dining. Fitness is at a standstill. Gyms, some of them you're familiar with, LA Fitness, Equinox, spin studios, they're all closed down. I mean, it has just escalated over the last 30 days, 45 days since we've all been forced to go inside. And it's stopped what is so important to your health, which is just general fitness here in LA and matter of fact, all of California or most of California.
Thank you.
But we've all become complacent. We've all become lazy. I've fallen to it myself. You try to go on a walk without going outside, getting the fresh air, not being able to play tennis or whatever you enjoy, golf.
Do you feel that the workers in your field can still work and still serve the community while implementing proper social distancing and sanitary practice?
Well, I feel 100% confident that if the proper protocols are put in place, for example, inside a gym where the machines are being wiped off after each use, that they're all spaced out 6 feet apart, people are wearing masks. If you're on your yoga mat and you're 6-7 feet apart, but if you were in an indoor environment, everyone brings their own yoga mat. If you go on a spin bike, the bike is completely cleaned. Small businesses don't want any problems. I mean, we want people healthy and safe. There's going to be thousands of small businesses just within our district that will never reopen. I mean, at some point, they have to start paying rent. I mean, the landlords can't keep carrying people not paying rent. And, you know, in LA specifically, 70% of all the businesses that are owned, physical structures, are owned by individuals. They're not owned by big companies. So how do you expect a mom and pop that own a small strip center to pay their mortgage if they're not collecting rent because their tenants are closed?
And put food on the table. And if they have kids, take care of those kids.
They can't.
Yeah. Let me ask you this question.
Sure.
Regarding the neighborhood where you live, how do you feel about your living conditions? Have you noticed changes for the negative or for the positive?
This has been a bone I've had for years. LA, it popped up homeless encampments. I used to walk with my grandkids. I can't go anymore. It's all sides of underneath the overpass. There's homeless encampments. Yeah. I mean, and what's sad is that the state of California has a budget of $1 billion to take care of the homeless. What are they doing with that money?
You know, the sad thing is you're absolutely right. The people of Los Angeles and California, they're very kind-hearted. We passed not only $1 billion proposition, it was $1.2 billion proposition HHH. And you're absolutely right. Where has that money gone? Aside to consultants and analysts.
We had our downtown that always had a homeless problem. We had the beach areas, Venice. I owned a restaurant on the Venice boardwalk. They were always homeless, but not here. Right. They're everywhere. It's gotten out of control. So where's the help for the homeless? What are they doing?
I hear you. Let me ask you this question. Regarding education, how has Zooming been for your grandkids? Are they happy and are you satisfied?
It's terrible. It's my grandson's in second grade. So my grandson sits down at 8:30 in the morning for Zoom. So he's essentially on a computer screen for 5 hours. And, you know, there's no socialization. But what's even worse than my grandson is my granddaughter, who's just turning 4, who was in preschool for 1.5 years. She can't Zoom. She's not even 4 years old. She'll be 4 in a few weeks. She doesn't understand COVID. She knows the word, but it's been terrible. It's been absolutely sad. And there are kids that even in our district here that don't even have access to good internet still, that, you know, don't have access. You see them sitting at Starbucks trying to Zoom because they don't have it at their houses. I mean, this is a disaster. We're going to have a generation of kids that are going to be at least a year to a year and a half behind.
Thank you. Given the overall state of affairs here in Los Angeles in our state Senate District 30, have you recently considered the possibility of leaving Los Angeles or California in general over all this?
I have. I've talked about it with my kids. My son, who has a business in Hawaii, I've told him that I'm not happy here anymore. I don't feel safe. Safety to me is one of the most important things. I had an incident at a shopping center where I was approached, and because all the stores were closed, I was threatened during the day at 12:30 in the afternoon.
Wow.
And someone came up against my back as I was lifting my granddaughter into the car, and they wanted money from me. And, it was a scary situation. I pushed back and pushed him away. But, we're talking about in West LA at 12:30 in the afternoon coming out of California Pizza Kitchen with to-go order.
Wow.
It was a very scary moment. And, I kept calm and I was aggressive. But, this is no way to live.
Understood. Lastly, do you think the politicians in your District 30 are aware of your concerns and doing a good enough job, or do you think it's time for a change?
Oh, no, we need change. There's not even a doubt in my mind. I haven't heard from the politicians. I haven't heard any help from the politicians, any advice from them. I mean, I'm part of the community. I know a lot of people. My yoga studio had over 35,000 members to it, 35,000 customers. We all say the same thing. Why can't we get back inside? Where is people trying to help us? No, we need help. We need people on the ground. Missing a huge component of the local communities not promoting vaccines. It's very serious. I got my vaccine today. I strongly promote it. The sad part is that we are not going to combat this. We're not going to get ahead of this if we don't get some people vaccinated. It was an easy step for me. I went through a drive-in. The whole thing took 20 minutes. They were absolutely terrific. And we need politics, advertising, boots on the ground people knocking on doors, getting them the information. I mean, we can't expect every person over the age of 5 or 70 or 75 to have a computer, to know how to use it, to drive to these centers. I mean, they say, 75 and older to get vaccines. Where?
Yeah.
I went to my neighbor across the street, older couple. They're like, we don't own a computer. We wouldn't even know where to go to get the vaccine.
No.
I mean, this is terrible. We talk about 3-to-1 positive testing here, but no one's telling people where to go. If you don't have a phone and a computer, you're stuck in your house. If you're 70 years old, maybe you don't even drive. This needs to be addressed by the politicians. We need to get a handle on this and get the word out to get everyone vaccinated. Everyone needs to get vaccinated. And I just don't think the word is being spread clearly, or they don't know where to go even. The people across the street, they had nowhere to go. We don't know. We're just going to stay in our house.
Thank you so much for sharing all this. In fact, this is what's wonderful about dialogue between people that are running for office and people that actually live in the community, work in the community, are experiencing the pain and suffering. Just talking to you right now, I'm not a rocket science by any means, but something came to mind when you said elderly people are unable to get out or use their computer, and certain parts of the city, they may not be able to even own a computer or have access to where to go. Something just came to mind just from our conversation today. You know what it was? Remember how they used to have, or still have in some areas, the portable libraries, the buses that would go through the neighborhoods and provide books?
God.
What do you think about that for vaccines?
Oh my God, that would be, go to my neighbor first. It would work. So much. It's unbelievable, because literally, do we expect a 75-year-old to have a smartphone and a computer? And, even my landlord here where I live, she doesn't have a computer.
Right.
She's old school. So, how would she find out where to go?
Right.
And all the public agencies is you call up and either you get your hold time is 3 hours,
right,
or we've gotten too many calls, call back later.
Well, that idea that came to me is due to our conversation. I owe that to you, because I would have never thought about it, because I didn't think it was an issue in terms of getting people to these sites. But you're absolutely right. The elderly need that extra hand. The people that don't speak the language as well as we do need that extra hand.
Absolutely.
the people that don't have computers need that extra hand. And that was an idea that just came to me based on your suggestion.
Well, I saw it today. I saw it when I was in line in my car for the shots. I mean, it was all people that were younger, in their 40s, 50s, 60s, healthcare workers. But we've got to get people vaccinated or we're never going to get ahead of this. We'll be having this conversation a year from now.
Right.
So we've got to get people out there, and we've got to open up. And
Arlene, I have another question for you.
Of course.
If things were to change for the better, would you be more apt to want to stay in LA?
Yes. I mean, I love LA. I love the people. I love the vibe. I love the food. I love the culture. My whole life, I love living. I've lived in California for over 20 years, and I love it here. But yeah, I think the major thing is that crime has gone up. Unbelievable. It's up. I actually saw in the news, and I snapped a picture of it. It was like 280% has gone up since last year for crime in our county. And if we could clean up the homeless and get ahead of the COVID, I mean, the same things that every city, every family would want: to be safe and to be healthy.
Right. Well, with your vote, I will try to do the best I can. Well, like I always say, the longest journey starts with that first step. And unless we take that step to make positive change, nothing gets done. Thank you again for being here tonight. I appreciate it.
Of course.
All right.
Good luck.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.